海外ではなんていうの？
horny です。
え？
horny
本人？
horny
ホールに？
horny
I'm horny!
So, you guessed it correctly. It was Houshou Marine as the next character we're going to talk about on this quote-unquote series. But if you guessed wrong, nah, you didn't guess wrong. You can just tell me you guessed right. Hey, if you guessed wrong, it's okay. I won't know the difference, because it'll be a comment section. Oh well, that's enough intro talking. Let's get on to Houshou Marine's moveset and stats.
but so I call Marin Sencho senpai.
If you wonder why there is no notebook picture with words here, it's because I forgot to take a picture, but then I realized it might be better just to type the stats on screen for ease of access and also for better visibility. And for Houshou Marine, I kind of want to achieve a she's floaty but will fall fast. I don't know how to properly do this really, because when I say fall fast, I don't mean making her a fast faller. I mean it in such a way that if you hold down, she will fall extremely fast. Not that she's a fast faller, because I think Houshou Marine would be floaty, but judging by her more comical things, she would definitely fall fast when the stick is pressed down, when playing as her. Now, as we read off the stats, in weight, I had placed her as a lightweight to almost middle. This is because even though she is small, she seems like the type of person to be hard to get rid of if she's hunting you down or just on you for something. So, and I don't think her being a fast faller kind of suits this, so maybe her having a bit more weight would be a lot better. With her fall speed being 1.37, with her gravity being 0.100. And alongside this, with her air acceleration being that of Falco's, I looked at all the variables for Falco's, and I was like, yeah, just give her Falco's. And then the airspeed being 1.05, with a jump height of 35. Now, for the jump duration, there are 4 here, so I'll read them a little slower. Her short hop being 43, with a short hop fast fall of 21, and then her full hop duration is 52, with a full hop fast fall of 24. Going with the idea that she is rather floaty or lightweight to almost middleweight-ish, but if she needs to go down, she will go down fast-ish on that regard. Not exactly too much of a combo character, but she won't have a hard time getting back on the ground, probably. Now I say probably because you're thinking, oh, Marine can probably escape on the ground a bit easier. Well, I want to give her Squirrel's walk data, while also giving her Peach and Daisy's dash data. As a reference to the fact that she's a hag, so she's probably not going to be going pretty fast. And by hag, I mean she gets all the hag jokes. So I feel like this is pretty fitting. And the reason I say probably on her escaping some of the stuff. Because she will be floaty, but she will fall really fast if you press the down button on her when in the air. But let's see what the grounded attacks have in store for Houshou Marine. No funny clips this time. Do yourself a favor and listen to these songs. They're pretty good. Honestly, they are. So let's get on to the moves. Well, thank you for staying here. And I do hope you at least listen to one of the songs after this video. But let's focus on the grounded attacks, starting off with jab. With 1 and 2, I want it to be like Peach and Daisy. But with 3, like Luigi's. There's a big reason for this. There is a short dedicated to Marine's butt flying off her body and ending up in Scotland. And this was for a sort of trip that she and some of the other girls went to. And if that butt has enough power to disassociate from the body, then it's gotta be part of the jab at least. Hear me out. It would be mad funny too. But for the tilts, they're a bit more on the contemporary normal side of things. Now let's start with Marine's forward tilt, and it's the Pay-Z forward tilt. Nothing really too special here. And speaking of not special, the down tilt. As a generic type of leg sweep, I was thinking the Pay-Z one as well. Or maybe just a regular leg down tilt. Heck, maybe something like Captain Falcon's? Maybe? But maybe this one can be left up in the air for interpretation, for whatever works best. I just think any type of down tilt for her, including the leg, is like a better fit for her. And then the up tilt, she will headbutt someone and then swing her head backwards going up, essentially being just like Melee Peach, honestly. I don't remember why I selected this move in particular, but I think it fits since every time I look at Marin, I'm like, wow, she really has a big head. And think about it, maybe the hat has some weight to it, because of gold, stolen treasure, and it could be a nice combo, anti-aerial type of move. You know, just have it as an in case. But Houshou Marine's smash attacks are gonna be a little bit more simpler to explain. Starting off with her F smash, just a generic at swing, kind of boring, but let it have armor because, you know, it's an anchor, it's heavy to move because those things stop ships. And let this kill at 80%, I feel, fully charged. Obviously, make this a move with crazy knockback growth, so when charging, it becomes like a good shield break move, but when uncharged, But at the same time, I don't want this to be like a dedicated shield break move like Warlock Punch or something. I just want it to be like, oh, the smash attack's a little slow, but if you hit it, it's like, whoa, you got the kill. So come to your own conclusions on this, but she's got to have that anchor somewhere. And you will see it on these other two, like Marine's up smash, which is similar to her side smash in terms of swinging an anchor, but in this case, it swings upwards. And now this would be your anti-air killer move. Just a bit of a, oh, you jumped? Okay, bada boom, bada boom. Or whatever you want to take it as. Compared to her down smash, which I wrote in my notes, there are two options that fit, a bi-lift type down smash and then blank. I guess the other one would be Sora, judging by the picture drawing. And just another kill. I think her smash attacks being slow because of the anchor makes a lot of sense. And like, has a ship. Well, at least saving for a ship. She's gotta have an anchor at least. It's been how many years now? Yeah, whatever is on screen. But, you know, big, heavy smash attacks, and the rest can just be a bit of a setup or just combos. As we go on to her dash attack. And before I show you this dash attack, hear me out, look at the image. Yeah, it's just a Luigi dash attack. It would fit Marin. Don't lie to me, I think it fits perfectly because of the oversized jacket sleeves. It just fits, at least in my opinion. Or unless Marin does not have the jacket things, I guess it also works. But hey, it's a decent burst option, think about it that way. If you're thinking competitively and casually, a good way to annoy your friends too. But nah, enough of that. Let's go to the grabs. To start describing Marin's grabs, I want you to look at Marin. She looks like the type of person to grab with both the arms. And yeah, this is some inspiration from Idol Showdown from one of her assists. And the way I have this visualized is obviously like Incineroar's grab in both the regular and the pivot, but the animation make it look like it's coming from something like her dash attack or something. If you think about it, it makes a pretty decent mix-up in competitive, or it could just be annoying, I think. However, I don't think that the throws themselves will be annoying. Starting with forward throw and back throw, I want to cover these together as in my notes I've written them down as fixed knockback throws. The forward throw is kind of doodled as a forward throw with just her arms, but however, later on I decided why not let her use a cannon to throw forward. And then that would have me realizing maybe that should be like a kill throw to a certain extent instead of Fit's knockback, or just let it be Fit's knockback in general despite it being shot out of a cannon. And then for back throw, just literally Peach and Daisy's back throw. Like, Marine's got a powerful booty, she's gonna have to use it somehow, somewhere, and this seems like an appropriate place for it. And I just think that these moves would be either for setups or for combos, or maybe let forward throw be the setup and then back throw be like the combo back throw, not the setup back throw or kill back throw for this case. And the reason for this, just me saying maybe forward throw can be a kill move, is because as we go on to up throw, I also had this bit of a dilemma in up throw just being a regular combo move, but this time the combo being the cannon type of move and the kill move being like a, oh, she's just throwing them up. Honestly, I think those two could be interchangeable, and there's not really much to say here. Maybe combo up throws are a bit more easier to explain than combo forward throws, and so too a killer up throw as well. And this one is just more so a, which throw do you want the cannon to be, up or forward? Or let her have the cannon in both situations, cause she's a pirate, let her use pirate tools. If not, then she has to at least have the cannon in one of these. It just makes a lot of sense. And maybe Fit's knockback for one won't be so bad as we go on to the down throw. And as you guessed it, the down throw is the designated kill throw, even if up throw or forward throw do end up having a little bit of a kill. Now if you notice in the notes I say start killing around 120, well yeah, I have this one kill a little sooner than forward throw and up throw, honestly. And I'm not sure if that'll make enough sense in the throw department, but what I want her to do here is just to slam down on the opponent. And just like her forward throw and up throw, by looking at this, I think you can also rework it into a setup combo throw, probably. Or just make it have a really high knockback growth that puts it from combo to kill at the end. But I'm thinking this type of slam to be Marine's definitive kill type of throw for her, and then let up throw and forward throw be sort of a, oh, it kills a little later, so you want to be using the down throw. Or, you know, if you want to have forward throw be the other one, then have that one be better to kill at the side, and maybe up throw better for platforms to go straight up. As most down throws, they don't necessarily send you up after hitting the ground, they send you a bit diagonally. So there's also a mixed use case situations here and there for it, with her slamming the opponent. Although it would be interesting to see this be DI dependent, where the opponent goes left or right to survive. And that would be interesting. But at the same time, would it make the throw not that good of a kill throw? So in that case, maybe let the throw send them back and away in the killing direction, just to have two types of throws that send behind her and two types of throws that send in front of her. Back and down being the ones that have an angle that sends behind her, and up and forward being the ones that send above her. I mean, in front of her. Well, depending on the angle of forward throw, then yeah, above as well. Overall, for Marine's grabs, not too broken, I like to believe, and if so, maybe nerf it a bit. And also, not too useless, but maybe we should make one Marine grab useless. Just for some classic Marine shenanigans. I'm either between up throw and forward throw, since those two were talked about a lot. Ah well, let's go on to the dodges, something new.
はい。
3、2、1 go shoot!
This segment's just gonna be pretty short, as I'm just gonna say how I think her dodges and rolls should look like. I wanted to say Peach and Daisy dodges and rolls, but Ultimate Frame Data did not have the visuals there, so I just took a screenshot of the frame data, so it can line up a bit with what I want to say. And as for Marine's air dodge, since most of these movesets are based on the whole current Smash engine, and at the making of this video, Smash Ultimate is the latest Smash Bros, so I'd say just give her a standard frame 3 air dodge. And as usual, if anything needs to be nerfed to make her work, then just put it at 4. But however, I think due to her light and floatiness, I think making her air dodge frame 4 would be a huge detriment. So just keep it with this type of frame data. And I want to say something for her rolls. Maybe she would just do a bit of a sidestep instead of just rolling. And I think that would work out pretty well for her. But nevertheless, let's go on to the aerial attacks. Those who are knowledgeable in competitive platform fighting terms, or may have heard these playing casually with some of your friends that may dabble in the competitive scene of Super Smash Bros. Quite a bit, will know that this type of aerial I want to give Marine is called a sets kick. I want to give her this type of aerial purely on the name basis alone, but however, I want to give her the specific one that has low knockback and makes it a combo move. Maybe an auto cancel window too to help with some of Marine's more laggier options. Good for landing probably, and maybe a decent get off me tool if you're playing with items with friends and whatnot. And I just think it would look cool. And at the same time, give her a non-Peach and Daisy type of move, which I have been guilty of, as we go on to the other aerial. Of course, this other aerial I am referring to being the forward aerial. Not much to say here. I just like the idea of Marine taking her hat off to hit someone. When I saw the forward air for Peach and Daisy, it's just them taking off their crown. Honestly, if you don't really look at the details, it always feels like it's just a big slap, not really them taking off their crowns. But what I visualize is not to be exactly the same, but to be like a faster, weaker version of this. Not particularly good for the, oh no, I need to get a quick late kill, they're at really high percent. It wouldn't be that good, I feel. But it's a faster aerial. Because Marine's hat will just be cloth, there's no metal to it, so it's gotta be lighter. Or maybe have a bigger hitbox while being faster and weaker. Okay, but then that would be too broken. So just keep it a similar type of hitbox size to the Peach and Daisy one, but just make it faster and weaker. However, for this next aerial, I'm not gonna go with a Smash character type of thing. I'm gonna go back with a concept I already used for another character, Gigi's up air to be exact. And what I want to do here is her swinging her arms up, however open palmed instead of punches compared to Gigi. And the reason I want her up aerial to be this way is because, listen, Marine does a lot of hag grandma jokes, so having the turnaround to do legs going up in the air for a quick attack would not be great for our old lady here. Hence, arms gotta go up. And similar to Cloud's aerial, as it's a similar type of function, yeah, it's a hitbox that goes up with the animation. However, unlike what I envisioned with Gigi, is there will be no lingering hitbox once those arms go up. That's about it. No more hitbox shenanigans there. So I think this aerial is best not being whiffed if it's an air-to-air situation. But however, if you are landing with it, still pretty good to use it. And this would, I think, complement pretty well with her down air. As you can see here, it's a split. Now, look at those arrows going the opposite directions. Bear with me here. I originally wanted Marine's down air to be like, her legs are down together, and then they open up, like a split. However, I realized this would be an awkward animation and not only super awkward move. I'm not even sure how this would work, but if we want to go the more practical route, then it's like the reverse of it, just like a regular down air. Or just a type of down air that both legs are open and then clamp the opponent for like a spike or a meteor. And I think that would be pretty nice. Or just give her a pretty generic down air, just not a stomp type of down air, to better safe this thing. But I think Marine should have a split there somehow. I don't know why. Probably to make more hag jokes, I guess. But I think that would be it. Still, this down air, it can go either generic or the unique way I've described. I think the generic one might be a little better, because this unique one is just a thing of, wow, this would be kind of neat to see, but at the same time I think about it, it would be a pain to actually make it work. But let's see if the specials are a pain to work or not.
苗を再び多幸感あふれる顔はもう終わり慣れちゃった
Ah, yes, specials. Sometimes they can make or break a character in the game. Like, imagine if Ike didn't have side special to help with his recovery. Unironically, worst character in the game, probably an ultimate. I mean, whatever. Let's focus on Marin before I get ranting. Starting off with her neutral special, I call this one Cannon Blast. And as you can tell by the name, she takes out a cannon and shoots it. I was thinking obviously similar to K-Rool, but without the suction, and let this just be projectile, no suction, nothing like that. But however, I do want it to have a blowback effect similar to Diddy Kong when he charges up his neutral special too much. You know, just one of those Marine things to get her with her classic yells, you know, unlucky Marine moments, I think. But hey, it would be funny, implement one of her screams, and then have the cannon, which like I mentioned before with the grabs, she's a pirate. Why won't she have a cannon on board her moveset? But pirate ships don't only have cannons on board. They also have the booty they've acquired on their travels. But in Marine's case, she had to go on a travel to get it back. Which is why it grants a space and being part of Marine's moveset, in this case being the side special, with an animation similar to Peach and Daisy, but with the function of Diddy Kong's of either being a hitbox only or grab as well. And you know what? With her dash attack and projectile, I feel like this might be a bit too obnoxious, so maybe it having a slower start or just having the hitbox only deal would be a great way to balance the whole thing out. If not, then make it a slow starter burst move, I guess. But hey, I just think this type of side special just fits her pretty well. Anything else, I'm having trouble pretty much figuring out. If anything, maybe just have her side special be like a copy-paste of Byleth's, but with the anchor instead. I don't think that'll be pretty fun to have, so I much prefer having the Peach type of side special, even though it will be annoying, if I'm being honest with you. But this next one is gonna be even more annoying. In fact, I might be hunted down after saying that. Horny breathing or lewd breathing. Apologies for cutting out the audio a bit early there. I just didn't know how I was gonna say it, so I just decided to go out and say it. But essentially this would be like Wii Fit's deep breathing, but the only thing that gets stronger are her grabs. So this would be perfect for kill grabs and whatnot, but however, make her inconsistent in the non-kill grabs, or open up for kill setups depending on what the other grabs' knockback will be set to, or type of stage. In fact, I'd also like it to increase her side grab potential in killing if, you know, it's decided that she can have a grab and a hit as well. Or if it's just a hit like Peach Bomber, then yeah, that's not gonna be applicable. but maybe leave it in the code in case maybe an update gives her that move or something. Obviously, I can't say because it isn't even a real game, but more of a hypothetical situation. But I'm just saying, she would probably do this. Another character that would also do this is Okayu, but we can save that for the Okayu video. In fact, Okayu's might be a bit more deadly than Marin's. So let's just skip on to the other things, a majig. Now for Marin's last special, her up special, I had in mind something like Captain Falcon's. And yeah, just identical function, and nothing like really special to it anyway. Just more so inspired by the whole, hey, maybe she can use her grab for another thing from, Idol Showdown. And heck, why not? Or maybe have it sent down to make her even more annoying. Since she is floaty, she's probably gonna be really high up, I guess. And not give her like a jump boost like with Captain Falcon, I guess, because she is floaty. But I just think this would fit, but I also don't have a good case for justifying it. However, if we take some inspiration from Me Gunner, there's an up special of Me Gunner where they launch something downwards and go straight up. Well, straight up-ish in a sort of angle. And I think this would also work if Marin's able to use her cannon in time. I think that would also fit. But maybe the cannon would be too slow for it. But that's also a non-issue, as you could give her super armor for it. So a grab move would make her pretty exploitable for that. But with super armor, hey, maybe it's like a little bit of a burst option? Out of shield? But if it is slow, then it really isn't that workable. Just more so one of these, get off me type of moves that are not really a get off me. They're more like get off me, but you got red type of moves. And I just think these two would fit Marin, but at the same time, like I mentioned with the first one, I don't have particularly good cases for justifying them. But I think for the next move, I might have an actual case for justification.
どうも、はじめまして、お母さん。いや、今日もペコレちゃん最高に可愛いですね。本当にこんな素敵な娘さん産んでくださってありがとうございます。
Alright, you've waited for it for so long. Unless, if you enjoyed everything else in the video, then you didn't wait as much. But now it's time for Houshou Marine's final smash. And, as you guessed it, another inspiration from Idol Showdown, this being from her forward collab button. And I want her running the ship aground, just like in the footage, and shooting the cannon. Yeah, that's basically it. Ship hit bots, and then cannon hit bots. Like, the ship knocks a character into a cutscene, and then shoots the cannons, I feel would be her final smash. Or whatever you want to call it if it's not Super Smash Brothers. But I think she would have this likely, and probably something else might be more appropriate. But she did start her life as a pirate, so I think this is probably the best course of action for it, And I think she'd do a pretty good job at taking stocks with it. But nonetheless, let's see what costumes she could probably use while doing this type of move.
君たぴー。あはーい。ホロライブ3期生、宝生海賊団船長の宝生マリンです。ちょっと噛みました。そして、ふぶちゃん。はーい。今日は指示中の白神です。よろしくお願いします。はい。
Mio propaganda aside, let's talk about Houshou Marine's costumes. The first thing I want to talk about is obviously the first three being costumes based on her gen mates, Pecora, Null, and Flare. Then the other three are a bit more subjective. I want to put Louis because Louis has become a pretty iconic member, especially in the hologras, and Marine was her Oshi. than Korone, because anything Korone thinks about being old, the first thing she does is, oh, let me go check if Marin knows what this is. And that really plays into the whole hag thing that Marin has going on. So, you know, it would be pretty funny to have it. And then the last one would be kind of a dedication to Aqua, as, you know, just having the Aqua colors there. Because apparently Houshou Marine gave birth to Aqua, so, you know, she's got to represent her daughter somehow. And then for the last costume, it's going to be a special one, Houshou Marine. And let's be honest, it's a big part of Marine now, so you really can't go wrong with Houshou Marine. Which also reminds me, I want to do something a little different by adding more bonus costumes, just like how Project M, Project Plus does it. But however, these 4 costumes for Marine are not extra colors, if not just extra outfits, which I think could also have their own colors. But I think they'll be going way too subjective or way too repeated. I don't know how to describe it really. But the 3 I want to pick is the swimsuit one that Marine likes showing off sometimes. Then this one that says that she's 30 years old in that one. And let's be honest, this picture that says the age of 30 is in demand is pretty iconic now on the internet. So, part of the legacy. And then another one is the office lady outfit. Because it just looks nice. It just looks nice, I feel. I also wanted to add this more dangerous type of outfit, but I'm not sure about this one. And I think a selection of 3 bonus outfits is nice to add. But if you have to limit it to 8, then I'd say the 6 alternate colors plus Houshou Marine is a way better fit if you want to fit it into the whole 8 colors only and made by Ultimate. But you could probably have more in this hypothetical scenario. I don't know. It's costumes, so it's a lot easier to make, I feel, than a whole different character. But nonetheless, let's go on to those closing thoughts, shall we?
よろしくお願いします。
今日はね、これツボやんだよね、マリンちゃん。
そう。
マリンちゃんツボできんの？マジで？
やるできる。もう船長は天才なんだわ。だから何でもできるよ。こんなちょちょいなちょいっすよ。
あ、本当にちょちょいなちょいかい。じゃあ。
Here we are at the end with the Twants and our closing thoughts. For the Twants, she's still active, so any iconic moment that can be ingrained into history can still be added. But, however, please, you gotta make this a Twant somehow. Or, also a Twant, because there's usually an option of 3, have her go with Houshou Marine. Yeah, just a bit of thing. Mascot character showing up, Joker has it, then let Marine have it. And I guess those would be 2 good taunts. And as for the third one, Marine's still an active member of Hololive, so maybe something will come up. Or just act, you know, Marine's usual self. But as for my closing thoughts, I think Marine's a character I would try, but then not like to play too much. So maybe she won't be the character for me, but I hope she's a character that you guys would like to try out. And in any case, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much. I sincerely thank you very much. And like I said, please let me know who else you want to see, because Marine was kind of a sort of a whim thing on the whim. So, but like, even if I don't do the character set on the comment, I'd still like to see what y'all are interested in. So, with that, I bid you all a farewell, or good night, good morning, or good evening, good afternoon, or whatever you guys are watching this on. Goodbye, everybody, and have a nice day or night.